Well, Singapore is resuming its earlier plan to streamline COVID-19 measures on Tuesday. This was meant to have started on the 25th of February, but was put off when Omicron cases surged to about 20,000 a day. The country's pandemic task force says the situation is stabilizing and more patients have been moved to other facilities to ease the load on hospitals. A mask wearing will remain mandatory, but safe distancing will no longer be needed when masks are worn. Social gatherings remain at groups of 5, but households can now receive any number of such groups of 5 throughout the day. Similar rules also apply to workplace gatherings. Capacity limits will also be lifted for small settings, but will be 50% for large events of more than 1,000 people. These areas form the framework for future easing of measures when they happen.
Group size will go up from 5 to a larger number. We will decide what that number is. Mask wearing, we can decide whether or not indoor or outdoor, the different settings, whether we should make it a default. Capacity limits, we can go up from 50% to a higher limit. Back to office, we can go up from 50% to a higher percentage. So it's very easy to understand. These are the 5 key parameters, and the next step, we will be able to take significant moves to ease our domestic SMMs, at the same time free up international travel.
Our changes will also come for more specific areas from Tuesday. Up to 30 vaccinated people can take part in team sports without mandatory testing, starting at selected venues. Meanwhile, more migrant workers will also be allowed to leave their dormitories for recreational activities. The quota will increase 5-fold to 15,000 on weekdays and up to 30,000 on weekends and public holidays. The task force says Singapore is also working with Malaysia on the reopening of the land border. The plan is to let cars, motorcycles and private coaches ferrying workers resume crossings. In the meantime, those travelling for work may consider updating their travel documents, including vehicle entry permits. While Malaysia has announced that it will reopen borders on the 1st of April, Singapore says a date has yet to be set.
The two Ministry of Health are in constant touch, and I think we need to time it right. When both sides, it must be done when the pandemic situation on both sides allow it. And so this is something also we don't think we can predetermine a date, but this is something we're watching closely.